Former friends.
Correct.
Fight over money.
Not correct.
Unfortunately.
Well, that's why we're here, sir, because this is a dispute over money.
Correct.
According to you, Mr. Harkness, you lent Mr. Cutler $3,000.
Yes, that is correct.
Mr. Cutler says it was a gift.
Correct.
So why don't you tell me, sir, how did this loan come about?
Well, in the beginning of 1995, Stephen was living in a house. He was renting a room. He couldn't live at home. His father, they kicked him out of the house, and he couldn't live at home. He had nowhere else to go, and he was also getting kicked out of this new apartment that he had gone into. And he came to me and said, you know, John, can you give me $5,000? I said, Stephen, you know, $5,000 is a lot of money. You know what I mean? I really can't give you $5,000. I said,
What kind of work do you do that you had
well,
thousands of dollars?
unfortunately, when I was younger, I had cancer, and I had gotten a settlement for it. And so when
How did you get a settlement for having cancer?
well, because I was misdiagnosed for not having it. And then I did have it, so it was a big, drawn-out thing. When I was 19, I got a settlement and put it away and invested it for my children.
How much did you get?
It was about $500,000. So
And Mr. Cutler, you knew that he was getting a settlement?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So Stephen came to me, like I said, asked me if I can give him $5,000. He didn't say lend. And I said, Stephen, I can't give you $5,000. I can let you borrow $3,000. He said, oh, come on, you can give me $5,000. You got the money. I said, Stephen, it's not about if I have the money. I can't afford it. You know, I was going to school. I put myself through college. And that was even before I got the settlement. So I've been working hard my whole life to save my own money. He said, come on, please, please, please. You know, I said, all right, listen, I can let you borrow $3,000, but you gotta pay me back. He said, well, I can't pay you back right away. I said, Stephen, I know you don't have money. If it takes you a year to pay me back, just pay me, you know, in drips and drabs, whatever you can, you know? So I gave him the money. He was so happy, you know. He said, thank you. My witness was present.
What, did you write him a check?
I wrote him a check. When I went to write him the check out, he said, don't write the check out to me, write it out to my father, because I don't have enough money in my account to cover it. I said, that, you know, seems pretty sensible. He was asking me for the money, so obviously he didn't have money to cover it. And he said, I need the money right away because I have to put it down on a new apartment. So I said, no problem. I wrote the check out to his father so his father could cash it. After I gave him the money, I saw him less and less over the next 6 months. Come that October, I went back to college to get my bachelor's degree. So, and then I saw Stephen less even more. So I called Stephen up. Hey, Steve, I haven't talked to you in so long. How you been? What's going on? This and that. We talked like old buddies, like nothing had ever happened. As soon as I mentioned the money, what money? I said, Stephen, come on. You know, we grew up together. What do you mean, what money? You know? He said, you said that was a gift. I said, Stephen, come on. Who's gonna give somebody $3,000? I was like, I haven't even given anybody in my own family $3,000, let alone a good friend. I said, I can let you, I'll let you borrow it. He said, that's not what you told me, and hung up the phone.
Okay, stop. Mr. Cutler, did you need money?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
You were working in 1995?
Yes, I was.
What kind of work were you doing?
Working in a soda distribution company.
Doing what?
Forklift work and just distribution, loading trucks up.
Okay. Were you evicted from residences at that time?
No, I wasn't.
Your Honor,
Well, tell me-
Your Honor, that's a lie.
Just a second. Let you speak. Get back in a second. You don't deny that he transferred, I'm not going to say gave, loaned, or whatever, he transferred $3,000 to you for your benefit?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Now you tell me how that came about, sir.
We were longtime friends. We grew up together in the same neighborhood. And I knew John was getting a settlement, and he said to me, he said, Steve, he said, if I ever get a large settlement, he says, I'm gonna take care of you and George Alts because you guys have been my best friends for so many years. Now, that's what he said to me. He said, you guys are gonna get $5,000 each and a trip to Europe, he said to me. He said, I'm gonna take you to Europe on me. That's what he told me.
I'm going to take you to Europe.
To Europe, yes, on him.
Just
That we were gonna go backpacking, hiking.
So did you ever do that?
No, we didn't. No, we
Okay.
didn't.
John Harkness wants his former best friend, Stephen Cutler, to give him back the $3,000 he loaned him. Stephen claims the money was a gift.
So tell me about the $3,000.
So as time went on, we were in the basement and together, and he said, Steve, he said, remember when I told you I was gonna give you $5,000? I said, yes. He said, well, I can't afford to give you $5,000. He said, I spent a lot of money. He said, but I could afford to give you $3,000.
You mean, and that just came out of the blue?
Yeah.
Just to hanging out in the basement?
Yeah, yes.
Did you say to him, what happened to the backpacking that we were going to do? The traveling
No,
we were going to do?
I never brought up Europe.
What?
I wasn't gonna be greedy. I figured whatever, you know, he was gonna give me, he was gonna give me.
So it just came out of the blue?
To be honest with you, it's been a few years. I don't remember the exact conversation, how it was brought up, to be honest with you.
Go ahead.
It never took place in my basement.
Yes, it did.
When he was living in the house and he was getting kicked out, that's when the money transpired, actually. Mr. Alt was present.
He was
Step
present.
up here, sir.
Yes, he was.
Your Honor,
Step up here,
he's
sir.
lying, Your Honor.
Just a
He's lying.
second. That's my strong suit, sir, to tell who's lying. What makes sense? Common sense. Yes.
How you doing?
Your name is? I'm
George Alts.
fine. How are you doing?
Good.
Pleased to hear that. Your name is?
George Alts. Basically, me and Steve talked about getting a loan from John. Actually, it wasn't a loan. We wanted to receive $5,000. Steven ended up asking him. I just kind of stayed off to the side. A short time after, Steve came back and said, he's not going to loan us $5,000. He'll let us borrow $3,000.
Why were you looking to borrow money?
Because I was in debt at the time and I had a lot of bills. So did Steven. So Steven said, I asked him, he would loan me $3,000. I said, I don't want a loan. If he's going to give me $3,000, I'll take the $3,000. I don't want another loan to get out of debt, to get back in debt with a friend. So I said, it's not even worth it.
Why would you think that your friend, Mr. Harkness, would give you money?
We grew up together. I would. You got to understand our circumstances. We've been through a lot since little kids. I thought maybe we can get some money from him as a friend.
Sure, step up here. Who are you?
My name's Joseph Smeltzer. I know all three of these men here for well over 15 years. When John received his lawsuit, for years, well before he received it, Steve and George had been his best friend, lifelong best friends. John had bragged countless times, and specifically, that he was going to take care of them financially and give them a gift.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Just a second. Were you present, sir, when you heard any discussion about $5,000 and a trip to Europe?
Yes, I was, many times. He made a lot of promises to a lot of people, not just Steve and George. I mean, he bragged that he was going to take care of a lot of people.
A lot of people.
And
just a minute, a lot of people do that.
Yes, they do.
A lot of people do that.
But you got to consider the fact when best friends of this nature, they're considered like family. They grew up all their lives. It's more like family. It's like if I came into $1 million tomorrow, I'd have no problem giving Steve $5,000.
What you, Mr. Cutler, is suing for is on a contract. You say that there was a contract, and your contract with him was that he was going to give you a gift, right?
Correct.
A contract requires, in the law, something called consideration. There has to be something that you give to him and something that he gives to you in order for it to be enforceable. Otherwise, it's just puffing. I'm going to take care of all of my friends. Now, there's a certain amount of common sense that suggests to me that you are having certain problems in 1995.
Your
That
Honor,
has a ring of truth to it, sir.
Your Honor, $3,000 wasn't going to make any difference in my life at that time.
He was getting kicked out of his
whatsoever.
Just a second.
Whatsoever, Your Honor.
Just a second. Then why, Mr. Cutler, would you think, sir, that after several years, because this transaction took place several years ago, that Mr. Harkness would at this point sue you for the $3,000?
Because he's a bitter man, Your Honor.
Just a second.
Can
Why do you think he's a bitter man?
He's a bitter man because I was friends with him for a year after he gave me the $3,000. After that, I couldn't be friends with him no more because he had a swelled head and I couldn't deal with him no more. And a lot of people the same way. So
Don't tell me about a lot of other people. What
two
about
years
you?
later, he called me up on the phone and said, Steve, he said, the money that I gave you, I want it back. I said, John, you gave it to me as a gift. He said, doesn't matter. We don't speak no more. He says, I want the money back. I said, well, you're not going to receive the money. You gave it to me as a gift. He said, well, I'll see you in court. And I said, I'll see you in
Your
court
Honor.
then.
Just a second. I'm going to resolve this in a minute. Did he make the check payable to your father?
Yes, he did. He told me, Your Honor, the reason why he made it out to my father was he told me, because I don't want you spending it all in one place. He goes, I feel if your father is involved with it, he goes, your father will look out for the money better than you will. And that's why he wrote my check to my father.
Oh, no. You see, a very important thing for you to remember, sir, is that common sense is what's supposed to prevail in a court. If he were giving you money outright, he would have given you the check made out to you. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you didn't need the money immediately, you could have opened up a bank account, put that check in the bank account, and waited for the check to clear. The fact that he made the check out to your father suggests to me that you needed the money immediately.
Yes.
And thank you for agreeing with me.
Sorry.
I also think, Mr. Cutler, that of all of his friends, I haven't heard of anybody else that just took money from him. Right? You haven't told me about anybody else that just took money.
I'm not the only one here, Your Honor.
They just,
I mean,
There were other people.
there were other people.
That wasn't.
I could have brought many witnesses here, but
Name one.
just a second.
Why'd you bring him?
Hey!
Sorry.
Sit down now. Mr. Harkness, I am satisfied based upon primarily the one tangible thing that we know, which is that you both agree on, that you made the check payable to his father, and that suggests to me that there was an immediate need that he had for the funds, which supports your story that he needed the funds immediately for a new apartment, which is totally different from what he's saying is that you were in the basement of your building making out a check and you said, I'm going to give you some money.
No, never happened.
Well, I know you say it never happened. So I have given you a judgment, sir, in the amount of $3,000, which is the amount of the loan. Thank you,
Your
that's
Honor.
all.
Excuse me, you may step out. Out this way, gentlemen. I'll be back with you, right?
A freak in disguise, bro.
See, that's all he can say.
A freak in disguise. Look at you. Rip off that suit and
That's all
nothing
he
but
can
white
say.
trash.
White trash with a
Mama's a freak,
with
his
a
dad's a
bachelor's
freak,
degree.
his whole family's a
Bachelor's degree.
freak.
Ask him what degree he has. Ask him how many degrees he has. Nothing.
By reading books. Hello everyone and welcome back to Learn with Sam and Ash. This is our day 17 of the series of 30 days challenge to speak fluent English. Also, you will learn a new method to enhance your pronunciation at the end of the video. So let's get started. So in order to practice this method, you would need a book. In this case, we are taking the reference of Robin Sharma's Who Will Cry When You Die. The link to buy this book is in the description, so you can check from there. And number 2, you would need a diary to make notes that I'll explain you how do we do that. The reason why I chose this book is because you have small chapters which are very convenient to read in one shot. So this is your step number 1. You have to choose a chapter which can be any, like for example I'm taking this reference, so I'll show you what is step number 1. In the step number 1, you read it slowly and loudly. Let me show you how do we do that. To get the best from life, you must be completely present and mindful in every minute of every hour of every day. As Albert Camus wrote, real generosity towards the future consists in giving all to what is present. Yet on most days, our minds are in 10 different places at one time. Rather than enjoying the walk to work, we wonder what the boss will say to us when we get to the office and what we will have for lunch or how our children will do at school today. Our minds are like scampering puppies, or as they say in the East, like unchained monkeys rushing from place to place without any pause for peace. We just saw step 1, in which we have to read it loudly and carefully. The step 2 continues from there. While you're reading your chapter or while you're reading a paragraph, you have to make notes. You have to make the notes of the words that you are not familiar with. While I was reading the paragraph, I underlined certain words which I'm not sure how to use them, what are their meaning and their sentences. So let me write the words in the column of word. First word was present, then I had mindful, generosity. Make sure while you're writing down these words, you understand their spellings and have a deep focus on that. Wonder, scampering, unchained, rushing, and pause. Collecting all the words in one list will ensure that you have every word that you're not familiar with so that you can find their meaning and the sentences. For step 3, when you have all the words ready written in your notebook, all you have to do is use your phone and use Google in this case. When I have the words ready, I have to find the meaning and the sentence. To do that, I'll use Google. I'll write the word present and present meaning. So the first thing that comes is the dictionary from Cambridge. The meaning of present is in a particular place, existing or occurring now. So the reference I'll take is something that is occurring now. And there's a sentence next to it. She did not expect to find herself in her present situation. You can write more suitable sentences with your own reference. I am not finding myself present in the moment. Likewise, you will have to find the words you have to find the sentences for other words and their meaning, like mindful, conscious, and aware of something. Just make a note of that. Aware of something. Similarly, write down the sentence, and you have to do this for the entire list that you have throughout the day. Step 4 is, when you have all the words ready, their meaning and their sentences ready, you have to pick 3 or 4 and try to use in your daily life, or maybe the next day. So I have 10 words. I can just pick 2 of them and I can practice repeatedly using them in my entire conversation. Once the list is ready with their meaning and the sentences, I'll pick 2 or 3 that I'm very fond of that I'll use in my daily conversation. For example, I really like the word present, I like the word wonder, and rushing. So these 3 words are the words that I'm going to practice throughout the day with my friends and my colleagues. Now comes the time for the bonus tip. As I mentioned initially, I'll tell you an appropriate method to practice pronunciation of your words. To enhance the pronunciation, when I found the word present online, there's a symbol next to it which will give me the exact pronunciation of the word. So let's see.
Present.
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 Repeat it as many times as you want till the time you get the exact pronunciation of the word. I'll show you another word which was mindful.
Mindful.
Mindful. Try to read more and more books, and when you read these books, try to use this method to enhance your vocabulary. Find the word, write the meaning and the sentence next to it, and then use these words in your daily conversation. I hope you liked this video, and we'll get back with more such information on enhancing your speaking skills and